This is a video about using timecode to run a show and the various different ways in which you might want to look at using it. So there's a variety of areas where timecode can be used, and we can actually accept and send out multiple layers of timecodes to different places. So the best place to start probably is in the show. So the show itself can run its own timecode or run against external timecodes. I'm just going to stop the show quickly here and we'll look at the different options. So show time mode duration. This is when the show is running its own timecode. I can have a start time, so I'll say I'll start at 2 hours, so that when I start the show, I get a start of 2 hours and it starts to count up. But I can then also run against external timecodes, one being time of day, or the other is a timecode chase. So time of day, very simply, means that when I start the show, I get the Windows clock time available to me as the show time. So this becomes very handy if you're running shows which run against time of day events. So at 2 p.m. every day, I need my theme park audio to reduce slightly in volume while I make an announcement, so on and so forth. Or I need to switch on another area of the museum at 11 a.m. when a section opens up. So the final is also a timecode chase. So what the chase allows us to do is receive the information from a timecode input, and at that point, literally just chase to it. The nice thing is we do have a chase offset. So if you're running timecode and you want the Ovation to run an hour behind in that timecode for whatever reason, we can type in a chase offset here. So outside of the time of the show, we then internally can do stuff in both the queue list and the queues. So in the queue list, the way in which we react to timecode is using the timed queue list. A timed queue list, if we go into the properties, can either chase show time, but can also then chase an LTC input, an MTC input, or be manually driven off its own timecode. So there we go, and now it's rocking on its own. So a timed queue list can either run against its own timecode, another external timecode, or chase the show timecode, which would be the general or generic timecode input. So from that point, we can go one step further, and then each individual queue in the timed queue list can be reacted to by a timecode. So it would be reacting to the timed queue list's timecode. And in that respect, you can have a queue react to a timecode as well. And the way in which we do that is in the queue properties. We go under timed queues and we type in a go time, which we want to see happen. And that's that. So that is the different methodologies for running against timecode for a show.